Hello, and today I'm here with a very special book review very near and dear to my heart. I'm a Chicken Soup for the Soul contributor, and this is recovering from traumatic brain injuries, and I have a story in here. My story is under the chapter A Family Affair, and it's about how we came together as a family to help my mom when she began having seizures because of traumatic brain injury. Um, it also deals with like what we had, what was the, what was the new rules in the house and things like that. Like everything changes when you have to go through this. There are several different chapters. The first one is But You Look So Normal, then Self Discovery, Never Giving Up, The Healing Power of Mother Nature, Acceptance, A Family Affair, Attitude is Everything, Coping Strategies That Work, Opportunity Knocks, and Making a Difference. This book is excellent for people who have never even um, come in contact with somebody who has a traumatic brain injury, because sometimes I think that people are unnecessarily cruel because they don't understand other people. And I think that the first chapter says it all, But You Look So Normal, because most people with a traumatic brain injury, you would never know anything was wrong with them unless they say so. Also, there are several different interests in this book. There are people who have gotten a traumatic brain injury because of sports, being in the military forces. There are husbands and wives, siblings, children and mothers, children and fathers. I mean, just there's so many different ways to connect to this book. Really, this book is filled up with so many different people from all walks of life. That's what I think makes Chicken Soup for the Soul so amazing, is because people can be 1,000 miles away from each other or more, and they have some common ground. And I think that that's what Chicken Soup for the Soul does, is it connects similar people, but at the same time I think that it helps us understand people who we normally wouldn't connect with anyways. Also, it's really informational, and the true stories in here can give. I just think that it inspires kindness. The Chicken Soup for the Soul books, I think that they inspire kindness and understanding, but they inspire people. Like if you know somebody who's going through a traumatic brain injury, and especially their loved ones who are trying to help them and they don't understand because it's all new to them, I think that this is an excellent book. It's just, when I read this book, I cried, and it's, to me, it's a 5 out of 5 star book, and it's not just because my story's in there. It's because all the stories are true, and you really feel the emotions through the contributors, and it's just amazing what people go through for one another. I was really touched by, I can't remember the title of the story because I've only read it once so far. Like, I've read the whole book once. Um, but it was about a girl who was very, very smart, and then she had a traumatic brain injury, and she was at work, and a man called her stupid because of an after effect of the traumatic brain injury. And I just cried. I did. I cried because it just broke my heart that somebody would be that rude. I mean, it's rudeness in the first place, and then to know that, you know, she was recovering from a traumatic brain injury and he didn't even give it a thought. And this book really raises awareness. I also want to point out that if you're like a really busy person but you really like to read, like I'm a mom of a 2-year old. Don't even get me started. Sometimes you can only squeeze in a couple of stories at nap time. or something, or when, you know, this Chicken Soup for the Soul books are so great for that, because you can squeeze a few stories into a very small amount of time, and you don't have to try to remember what you read to go on to the next one. Like, you can think about it later, but you don't have to remember exactly what sentence you were on or anything like that. It's really good to squeeze into a busy parent's lifestyle. And the stories are just so amazing because they're true. I really like the cover, and I really liked the scenery in the back. I just thought that it was a really interesting cover, and how light it was, and there wasn't a lot of darkness on it at all. It was really pretty. I think the inside of the book is really pretty, because at the beginning of every chapter, if I can find one, there is like this tree, and it made the book look so pretty to me. It just made it pretty. So it's a 5 out of 5 star book. It's not out yet. This is my mother's copy, actually. But this is the copy that I'm going to give to my mom. And it was just... So anyway, I read it and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do a review in case you want to pick it up when it comes out, which I believe is June 24th, but it might have been the 25th. I have a horrible time with days, but I'm pretty sure it's June 24th. And for those of you on my Facebook, I have a couple of events coming up at bookstores and things. So hit me up if you want some information about that. And like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me if you have any experience with traumatic brain injuries, or if you're going to pick up the book. And we'll chat about it in the comments below after people have read it and they start commenting. So like, comment, and subscribe.